Hi you guys, I am about to jump into our live training call tonight. This is a free session that I am doing talking all about nutrition and the tools to really bounce back after traveling or eating a little bit differently. And I wanted to break down a couple of these things for you so that you can feel good too, so that you can bounce back even when things don't feel your best. Okay, so first let's talk about what is this bounce back thing. So basically what happens in a lot of cases is that we do something that feels good temporarily. We don't stick with it because we then travel, or we go out to eat with our friends, or we're then fun and things look different, moments of high stress, and we just don't keep it up. Then we start feeling like crap again. We notice ourselves getting bloated, we're not feeling as good mentally, and we start going on this cycle where we then also talk to ourselves negatively, so we start feeling like crap. But we're also emphasizing it by telling ourselves, you did a bad job, you should feel bad, I'm guilty that I ate that, I feel bad that I made these decisions that were different than the ones that were feeling good. Now, why does this happen? There's two reasons. The first is really that we actually are doing something that's not really sustainable. It doesn't work for our lifestyle. So when we're actually going away or we're going out to eat, the way that we've been quote unquote making choices that feel good for us haven't been sustainable, so that when we go and do something that's slightly a little bit different, we actually can't keep it up. So maybe that's counting calories or measuring your grams all the time. Maybe that's really restricting yourself. So absolutely no things in like 10 different categories. And that really creates this unrealistic situation that you just actually can't keep up with. So that's the number one reason that this happens. The second piece and the second part of this equation is that after we do the thing, because we know we're always going to do something that doesn't feel good. It doesn't need to be happening all the time, but it's going to happen, whether it's travel or the holidays or whatnot. The thing is that after we do that action, eating something differently, missing out on sleep, moments of high stress, skipping our workouts for a while, what we need to do is have a solid toolkit and a really fast bounce back rate. What that bounce back rate is actually coming back to feeling good again and again and shortening the time that it takes to get back to feeling good, instead of guilt tripping ourselves, instead of making ourselves feel bad. So we need to change the mindset. There's going to be a couple pieces to that. The first that's really important is actually catching yourself saying these things. If you're looking in the mirror talking badly about yourself, if you're saying to your friends, oh my gosh, I was so the F word fat this weekend, whatever it is, we need to start changing our vocabulary. We need to start catching ourselves and shifting away from all of that conversation, because that mindset piece is really a lot. You believe what you tell yourself you are over and over again. So we need to tell ourselves we are the badass, amazing girlies that we are. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is understanding the nutrition and the lifestyle habits that are going to help you bounce back quickly. It's super important to shorten our bounce back rate and to focus on that. Why? What that means is that when you travel, instead of it taking 2 weeks to get back to a place where you feel good, you slowly shorten that to a week and a half, to a week, and eventually down to like 1 or 2 days. We don't want to be in a place where we are constantly going through this yo-yo cycle of, I feel good for 2 weeks, I'm off for 2 weeks, and now it's taking me 2 weeks to get back, then I have 2 weeks where I feel good. This is where we're in this yo-yo cycle, and it messes with so many different things, from our hormones to our digestion, but also our mind and our confidence. So how do we shorten that bounce back rate? Okay, there are going to be a couple things, and there are simple tools that you can implement that will quickly get you feeling good and fast. But what's really important is the way to actually shorten that bounce back rate is consistency. The longer history you have with being consistent with a lifestyle habit that is sustainable, the shorter that bounce back rate gets. So if you've been living a lifestyle for a month and then you go away, that bounce back rate might actually be a little bit longer because your body isn't just used to the way that you're treating it, the consistent, healthy lifestyle habits and nutrition. Now, if you've been living that way for a year or 5 years, the longer it gets, the shorter it takes for your body and your mind and your internal and external physical factors to come back to that baseline, okay? So that bounce back rate. How do we get our bounce back rate shorter? We learned we need to be consistent. So there's no shortcut here, you guys. The longer you do it, the faster that bounce back rate is. And also, the faster you are actually coming back to getting back to a bounce back rate. And what I mean by that is when you're away on that trip, when you come back, not saying, oh, I was away, I'll wait months or weeks until I get back into a routine. You coming back and right away loving your body again. So coming immediately back to focusing on how do I feel back at home in my body. Now, how do we do that? And what are the tools to do that? So let's break it down. Okay, the number one thing that I am going to say is move your body. This seems really obvious, but I'm not just talking about workouts. What I'm talking about is getting out on a walk. Getting out on a walk is the foundation for this, and I'm going to tell you why. It is because there are not just physical benefits, there are so many emotional benefits. So supporting your mind, your mental health, getting fresh air, moving around, moving your body is going to be so important in this process because you've got to get your mind right to also have that solid bounce back rate, okay? And that shortened bounce back rate. That is so important. The next piece about walking is that you're actually doing cardio, you're moving your body. It's literally like the only type of cardio I do besides in my workouts where there's short intervals, but I'm not getting on a spin bike. I'm not going for a run, you guys. I am walking every single day and it is great cardio. That just means that your heart rate is elevated. You're in a state of cardiovascular work. So your body is actually challenging itself, your heart is being challenged. That can happen on a walk. You can go on a fast walk, you can put on your playlist, you can put on a podcast, put on ankle weights. If you're like me, I love to do that, add a little bit extra of a challenge, but just get out and move. Moving your body is so important because even if you do a 30-minute workout in your day, that's the only movement you're doing if besides that you're literally sitting at your computer working all day. And we are not meant to be sitting still and just looking at our computer all day. We're actually meant to be moving throughout our day, doing physical things and functional movements. So making sure that you are getting a walk in and some movement is going to be crucial. Okay, number 2 is a return right away back to whole foods, you guys. I cannot express this enough, but this is so important. We cannot punish ourselves for eating differently in a way that doesn't feel good. I could go on and on about the why here, but what is most important is that we come back to eating whole foods, and that is loving our body, okay? So that the next day or the next week after that travel, you're giving yourself high protein foods, you're giving yourself smoothies, and right away in the morning, you're not restricting, you're not trying to restrict your calories or stop yourself from eating something. Instead, you are filling up on all the nourishing things, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, all of these things that really just give your body all the nutrients it needs. My cheat sheet for this is just getting back into having a protein smoothie. The reason why this is so important is because a protein smoothie, a full protein smoothie, and how to actually build a full protein smoothie is going to give you tons of nutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients to really support your body getting back to a place where it's feeling good, your digestion, your mind, all the things, right, through nutrition. We're not talking about a smoothie that's packed with a bunch of just sugar, a juice and some more fruits. We're talking about a full, complete smoothie. If you want to know more, we talk a lot about this on Mindful. We have tons of smoothie recipes. We also have a 28-day high protein smoothie program on Mindful, which is really important. The quality of the protein that you're putting in your smoothie is also crucial because so many of these have a bunch of crap in them, but we want to get a high protein count in our smoothie, especially if that's our breakfast or our lunch. So that is supporting ourselves with 20 to 30 grams of protein in that smoothie. That's how we're making smoothies into meals, and we're giving ourselves tons of nutrients that we can break down and use to come back to feeling good. But the quality of protein matters. You need to check the labels and check the ingredients. It should be made with all whole ingredients. Okay, you guys, this is really important. Looking at it, if you don't know what's in that, if you don't know how to pronounce it, if there's a bunch of sugar or sweeteners, I'm even talking like, I'm not a big fan of even like stevia or monk fruit. It is not my vibe when it comes to protein powder. Some people don't hate it. I just think it overpowers the actual flavor of the nutrients that you're getting, and it's still a processed sweetener. So look for ones that are either unflavored or really just have only whole natural ingredients. We just launched a protein called Gut Instinct. This is the first of its kind gut protein, which is a hybrid gut powder protein powder. So it has tons of ingredients that actually bring down inflammation and optimize for protein absorption in your digestion. So if you are coming back from a trip or travel or trying to get back into feeling good, back into routine, this is literally your secret sauce. Okay, so those are my 2 cheat sheets. If you do literally anything at all, this is exactly what I would do, is incorporating walks, incorporating protein smoothies, changing the way that you talk to yourself so you can get back into routine. And I promise you, you will level up your baseline. What we need to do is constantly come back to bringing up that baseline and shortening our bounce back rate and creating consistency. Consistency is literally the secret piece in the equation that continues to bring up your baseline over and over and over. The more you do the things over and over, time and time again, year after year, literally can't say this enough, that baseline continues to go up. So you understand more of what feeling good feels like, and you actually understand a little bit more each time about your body to bring that baseline up. That is so important. As you continue with that consistency, you also shorten that bounce back rate. And as you understand more of what feeling good feels like, you reach for that faster. As you understand the tools in your toolkit, and those are just 2 of my favorites, but we talk about so many of these on Mindful, all of those tools that actually help you shorten your bounce back rate, all of those things are going to be this magic system that you have in place. If you guys are looking for meal plans, for health coaching, for guided programs, and for community, check out Mindful. It is the first of its kind lifestyle medicine and nutrition app for women all around the world. We focus on filling up our body instead of restriction, on what we can actually do to feel good, to live a longer, healthier life, and how we can use nutrition and these little levers of simple things that we are already doing to completely change the way that we feel day to day and long term. You guys, I'm Sam Cutler, and this is so fun to go over this. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.